So cool to start this webinar today here, talking about Cape Town. And while we're just waiting for a few more people to show up, please let us know in the comments from what part you're joining us today, because we already see that there's quite a few of you online. So would be great to know where you are and who's around here. And also in case when you're watching this webinar now, you can feel free to ask any questions. We will take up these questions anytime later, but now we would just love to hear where you're from. Where you're from and where you are based now. Dory, where are you right now?
I'm currently in Bansko. I'm joining the event here with a lot of other people. It's really nice. And you're in Germany, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'm actually in Germany now, but I just came here yesterday from Cape Town. I've spent the last 3 weeks in Cape Town doing a lot of research there, getting everything ready for this event. And so super excited to run through these things now. And we'll try to keep everything. We try to do things very quick. Just want you to know like some really important stuff. Really cool to see so many of you here from Bansko, Toronto, Mexico City, Netherlands, Germany, Brazil, Annalena from Lisbon. Really cool. Such a global community that we have here. And even from Cape Town. Hi, Stefan. We just met a few days ago, actually. So in Cape Town, we were scouting some things there. So let's talk about the event, what we're having. I believe that most of you who are joining here now, you actually know what we're doing. So we don't want to focus so much on how the Nomad Base event works, but just some more details on Cape Town. And let's just jump right in. So welcome to the Nomad Base Live Africa webinar. So now we're going to share with you all the important things you need to know about this event. And today with me here is Dory, who runs the program live at the event, who organized the past events as well. And we can't wait to share a lot of exciting updates with you now. Let's jump right in and go to the first slide. So this is us. And the date, first of all, our date is going to be the 7th to 13th of November 22. That's still a long time to go, yes, but with the current situation on flights, booking things, actually, there's never a better time to book things early now. So we're happy to share this already way in advance, all the details for the event so that you can get ready and do things and book everything. And Dory, do you want to talk a bit about?
Yeah, I just checked before I was just creating the presentation, and we have already 124 people. These are all Nomad Base Net members. They already have their tickets, which is amazing. Thank you so much, guys. If you already have your ticket, thanks so much for the early commitment. I really, really appreciate it. It makes our job just easier. So we already have that much. Yeah.
Yes, it's crazy. And actually, we have to say this in advance. This event in Cape Town, we're planning to limit this to a maximum of 300 people. And this means that this will be sold out way before the event actually starts. We cannot bring more people to the event. It's a crazy thing, actually, what we're doing, that we're going to Cape Town with so many people. And this is really the maximum capacity also for the venue that we have. And simply organizing things the way how we do it in such a big city will be a little bit complicated, and we want to keep it at below 300 because we learned from the past events that this is a good number and we want to stick to this number. So yes, we'll share everything with you now, okay? And now this is, first of all, we're going to Cape Town. We've said this before. Why are we going to Cape Town? It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Cape Town has won a lot of awards. I've lived there for 5 years. And and I believe strongly that this will become one of the nomadic hotspots of the future. There's already quite an active nomad scene. There are co-livings there. There's co-working there. there's so much to do in and around the city. So really a cool place to go. And since I've spent so much time there in the past, I really thought that this would be now a great opportunity to take the nomad-based community there and show you around. And so last 3 weeks, I've been scouting venues and looking into things and where we can stay and how we can do it and how to give everyone like a safe landing in the city where we can get together. And we found an amazing venue. This is the President Hotel. It's in Sea Point. We will talk a little bit more about where in Cape Town to stay and stuff, but this is a really, really cool area. You don't need to stay with us in the venue, but we can highly recommend that you book this hotel, and we will share the info there. From this hotel, there's amazing restaurants just around the corner. You can walk to some of the nicest beaches or just take an Uber in 2 minutes. You're situated, you can get to most of the top spots in Cape Town within 10 minutes from this place by Uber if there's no traffic, which is can happen quite a lot in Cape Town as well. But so we're meeting at the President Hotel, and you can see it's beautiful views. The beach is just around the corner. And I know that Stefan lives around the corner there as well, who's joining us here. So it's really, really, it's a beautiful hotel. You can see here on this map, this is a little bit how Cape Town is situated. In the middle, there is Lion's Head and Table Mountain, like two national parks, actually. And around these two landmarks, kind of the main city, or where most of the things happening that we'll be organizing happen around this area. If you cannot stay at the hotel with us, or you want to look for something cheaper, or you want to book a co-living with other people, that's no problem. But we would really recommend that you stay around Sea Point in this area just for the time of the event. And we will share exactly with everyone who booked. We have organized a special deal for the nomad-based community, and we're going to share all the accommodation info with everyone who booked the ticket next week. So the program, Dori.
Yes. So this is just an outline of the preliminary program that we are planning to do. So as you know, the event is 1 week long. We're going to start on Monday. So if you participated in our previous event, this is one of the changes that we made. So now the arrival and the registration, everything is going to take place on Monday. And then we're going to have the welcome drinks on that night. That night, that day, during the day, we're going to have the opening ceremony, some networking games. So there's not going to be any talks or workshops. That's just about like arriving and landing into this new location. And then throughout the week, we're going to have the talks and workshops. What we did in Croatia, we did have talks before in the morning, and then the workshops. This is just like an idea. This is actually still under process because we have some new ideas, so it might change. But overall, what you can expect is that we're definitely going to focus on giving you a lot of hands-on workshops. We're going to make sure that you have tons of time to explore this amazing destination, because there's like tons of things, like so many things and really close distance that we can visit. So we're going to make sure that we have a lot of time to explore and together, not the 300 people together, but like making smaller groups. As always, we're going to have evening activities. If you have been in the previous one, we did improv, we did dance. So we're going to make sure that these are all part of the program at one point. And I will make sure that there's going to be some free time. So like, I know that 1 week it can be quite intense. So we will have it included in the program that we're going to have at least like a morning where everyone can just like chill, probably out on Thursday, because on Wednesday, originally right now we are just planning a party. So in that case, like you can just like chill. So overall, the concept, if you have been with us previously, it's similar, but like there are going to be some changes. As always, we're gonna do the talent show and the closing. So if you have any talents that you would like to share with us, like please already start preparing and make sure to bring your instruments and all of this, because the talent show is always like a nice way and a nice things and closing during the week. So this is overall, as I say, this is just like the idea. We still haven't focused on too much on the program because our main focus was finding the best location possible there for you and a nice venue and organizing accommodations. And now we're gonna move on to the program page. But overall, this is what you can expect, and we will make sure that we're just gonna have a great time together.
Yes, and I just want to dive into some of the things that you were mentioning. So this is the first Nomad-based live event that we actually organize in a huge city, right? Before it was just smaller towns, even Playa del Carmen is much smaller than Cape Town. And we really want you to experience the city as well. This means we cannot do things with 300 people at the same time, but there are so many cool spots in Cape Town that you just need to see. And so we make sure that in the afternoons you have time to do this. And even if you want to do a workshop like on the beach, then you can just go for it. But so like this, we need to design the program in a way that it fits to go to a huge city. Yeah, this is so expect some different things, but it will be amazing. Yeah, we are just still looking for the speakers. We have here some of the amazing people who joined us in the past. There, we will share the link in case you want to do a talk. We are actually already quite full with the speaker lineup already. A lot of people that we are just talking to now and that we kind of have almost confirmed. We will reach out to everyone in the next week or two. But if you want to do a talk, just make sure that you apply by tomorrow. So that we can sort these talks and confirm this to you also as soon as we can. Dori, you already spoke a little bit about the program. So we have some side activities. We might not do all of them. Again, we are in a big city, so we're going to switch things around a little bit. So just to make sure you have the best possible time. And yeah, excursions. So what are we going to do on the excursions?
Yeah, oh my god, it's a tough one because there's so many things, and that's why like as we mentioned, we will do separate things together. But one thing that we definitely, or two things that we really want to do is a whales and wine tour, which is gonna mean that we're gonna go to one of the best spots close to Cape Town, where you can see the whales even from the shore. But we'll probably do the boat. So there's going to be first the whales, and then there are so many amazing vineyards around this region. So we're going to go and at least go to one vineyards together. This is one of the things that we definitely want to do. And of course, as you can see in the picture, this is the Cape of Good Hope. This is one of the nicest hikes, and like there's so many nice areas to go and visit, like the penguins. And Johannes, you probably know this better. What are the things there? But like these are the two main activities or excursions that we definitely planning on doing. So this will give you like more of like an overall view like of the whole region and the area. I haven't been, but Johannes is an expert on this, so maybe you can add what are the things, all the stops for the.
Well, I mean, the Cape of Good Hope tour is definitely a must. It's an amazing place to go along the Cape Town Peninsula, and if you haven't done this before, like I mean, it's one of them. It has got some of the most scenic, world famous drives. A lot of the car commercials are actually being shot there. A lot of you maybe don't know this, but Cape Town is one of the main places in the world where in the winter, the whole industry, film industry and advertising industry comes to do their shootings. Because the light is amazing and the scenery as well. So you will see some of that as well. There's always every day something happening on a beach, some film or other things. And then, so about the whales. Actually, we are super lucky because we're coming early in November for the start of the season, and this is still when the whales are there, because the whales are just in Cape Town, mainly in the winter time. And Hermanus, which is about 2 hours drive from Cape Town, is one of the best on land whale watching destinations in the world. So you can just go there and see them, but it's even better to do a little trip. And also the road that goes towards Hermanus along the coast, it's incredible ride. So we have two of the probably best excursions that we've ever organized in our history of Nomad Cruise and Nomad Base coming up. So really something else to look forward to. And yeah, we have some reunion plans, but we will actually think about that a little bit more. We cannot talk so much, but we can just encourage you, if you're planning to spend the whole winter in Africa, then we're going to organize a nice reunion for New Year's. And if you cannot, that's okay too. But then, well, there's going to be lots around Cape Town to explore.
Yeah.
So what to expect? I mean, you've maybe watched the videos in case you didn't join yet. There's a lot of things happening. We also have another video actually from the Croatia event coming up. You'll meet lots of people, you'll learn a lot, you'll have a great time. It's perfect for networking, and you'll get to know one of the most beautiful places on earth. So yeah, we hope to have you on board. And one more thing. So the other thing that I just did in Cape Town now, apart from actually organizing our event, was that we were talking to tour operators to design a safari. And so we're not just going to have the Cape Town event, we're actually going to have a safari as well, which will take us to really some amazing places. And this safari, it's going to happen before and after the event. So the first safari is going to start on the 22nd or 23rd of October. And the other safari is going to start on the 19th of November. It will be an 11-day trip. We are going to share all the details about the safari, more details soon. What I can tell you is that, first of all, we are going to see amazing places. This safari will take us to Kruger Park, to Chobe National Park. We're going to do game drives. We're going to hang out with elephants in different guest houses. We're going to the Victoria Falls, and we're going to do an amazing sunset cruise where we can bring our drinks and yeah, on the Chobe River in Botswana. We have redesigned this tour about 6 times. It took a whole week with back and forth with the tour operators to really find the way of how we can do it and how we can put the best things into a little bit of a shorter schedule and give you also time to relax during the event. There will be camping options, and you can also stay in a hotel. So both is possible because the places where we stay offer campsites and other things as well. This safari will be definitely another experience of a lifetime. What I will share here as well is that the bookings for this safari, we're going to open on the 8th of July, and we're going to do another webinar for this. And it's really that we can only take 4 trucks in total to do the safari, so that we really believe that the safari will be sold out also quite long in advance. Because yeah, I mean, the hotels are small. This is not that like we are going on a cruise ship. So I would recommend for everyone who's really into this to come and book this early and check out check your inbox in the next days when we send out more info, and we're gonna explain how the whole safari works. It's a lot of info, gonna take much more than this. And yeah, so we hope that some of you will join these safaris as well. So FAQ. Now we want to first of all,
can I add one more important thing that maybe you forgot about the safari? It's super important that the safari is available for those who are coming to the event, if I'm not mistaken, because the spots are so limited there. So that's just something we are super excited about it, like for both. So that's just something that is important to know.
Yes. And what I also need to tell you about the safari, so this helps you a little bit with your flight plans. The safari is not starting in Cape Town, because the thing is, if we want to go to do the safari from Cape Town, it's first 2 days on the truck to get to the region. So what we're doing is we're starting the safari in Johannesburg. It's very easy to fly from Cape Town to Johannesburg. There are like 15, 20 flights per day, or even more. But in case you are flying in from abroad, it might make sense to just book a flight to Johannesburg and a flight that you can actually change, so that in case you're deciding to stay longer in South Africa or do other things, I would just book a return flight. If you're coming for the safari, for example, for the first safari, that you just book a flight to Johannesburg. It's very easy, again, from there to go to Cape Town. So the safari is before and after the event, because we just have so limited spots. And for example, if someone wants to come to South Africa, wants to come to our event and just go home afterwards and only has 1 week time, then we recommend to first go on the safari. Because, well, if you want to stay longer in Cape Town after the event, then you first go to the safari, then you don't need to do back and forth. And if you're just saying, okay, I have limited time, I'm just going to go to Cape Town, hang out there 4 days later, and then I want to do the safari afterwards. So that's both is possible. And we will make, so we have these 2 dates. And you just need to talk maybe to your friends which ones they want to join. Okay? So this is this. And now we are going to go into some questions, and then we answer your questions as well. And first of all, is Cape Town safe? So we always get these questions. Can I go there? South Africa has got some reputation. So what we can say here about Cape Town is, well, you need to be more careful walking around like in Berlin, right? You need to take Ubers. In general, you can keep things very safe, but you need to just obey to some rules, right? But with Uber and with the places that we chose where we're going, everything is likely to be very, very fine. But we also ask you to be, a little bit more careful than you would be in other cities. But I'm sure many of you have been traveling around South America and Central America and Mexico, and that's basically the same deal like everywhere. I mean, we are all kind of travel experienced, so this is some words about this. And when to arrive depends really how you want to plan things. But basically, what we recommend is that you arrive really for the event and just stay longer afterwards. So we did it that the event really only starts on that Monday, take the weekend before, and then arrive. Then get there, or you can jump on the safari before. You can also coordinate all these things in our Discord channel. So next question, when shall I book my flights and accommodation? Once you decided if you want to do the safari, if you want to stay longer in Cape Town or not, book your things as soon as you can. We see at the moment how crazy flight prices go up. And I'm sure that if you book something around now from Europe, it will be around 600 euros that you can get the tickets, maybe a little bit more. But last minute, what we are seeing now, it's going to go crazy, right? So try to book everything a little bit in advance, and then you'll save a lot of money. Can you recommend alternative accommodation? So basically, we would highly recommend everyone to stay with us, but of course there are lots of Airbnbs and other apart hotels and stuff around, and that's what we would recommend to look in. If you're staying for a month, right, then maybe it might be good to just team up with others to book Airbnb. There are also different co-living spaces in there are different co-living spaces in Cape Town as well. You can also look this up. So for example, if you want to stay longer than a month, these might also be good options, but it's maybe hard to get actually a place there if you, not for short stays, right? So just coordinate this a little bit, but we just recommend that you stay in the area Sea Point, Bantry Bay for the event, and otherwise you just choose wherever you like to be in the city. We can also give some recommendations there, just in the Discord chat. Okay. How long shall I stay in town? It's always the same thing. We would recommend not to make too many plans, not to leave on the same day when the event is over. So just if you can stay for the whole winter in South Africa, go for it. You can do nice visa runs to places like Zanzibar. So it's really cool. Just as a visa question in general, you get about 90 days, and you can extend this visa if you go to a country that is not bordering with South Africa, but for example, Zanzibar.
I would like to add here that please always double check what is your visa situation, because it's really different within European countries as well. So make sure to check it before.
Yeah, that's true as well. What happens after the event? If you've been to Nomad Cruise or Nomad Base before, you know it's always worth to stick around. And there'll be lots of opportunities. I mean, a lot of people are spending their time in, a lot of people are spending their full winter in Cape Town, and there's so much to do around and explore afterwards. So you're definitely not gonna get bored if you stay there until after Christmas. Do I need to take a holiday to participate, Dory?
So, well, this is like, we always recommend people to, if you can, like it's wisely, we recommend you to take it as a holiday, because there's going to be a lot of people. Probably you're going to have just FOMO if you will need to work, but of course there will be time to work. So it's you don't have to take a holiday. We recommend it so you can just like really be present with us, just like in the old times on the cruise when we didn't really have internet. So it's up to you. If you can, yes, please do it. If you can't, then you will have time in the mornings or in the evenings or during the day as well, like lunch breaks, and or in the afternoon, like you might need to do some work. But yeah, if you can, please do.
Okay, COVID, a little word on our favorite topics. So basically, of course, there's always possibilities. The good news is in South Africa, they just dropped all regulations for masks. So there's no more masks, mandatory. And I don't think that things will change, but we are, of course, things can always change, and there's always a chance that we need to cancel the event even for other things. So far, we only needed to cancel one cruise because of COVID. We hope that it stays like this, but there's always a chance that these things can happen. So yeah, that's we just hope that things will be fine. If you want, we said it already, we have quite a few speakers that we're talking to at the moment, but we really need to know very soon if you're interested to be a speaker. Then please fill out the form. We're going to share the link.
If you go, yeah. So if you want, you can contribute. So there are basically 3 options right now. So you can become a volunteer. There are still a few spots, so if you want to help us, and I really appreciate if the people who are applying, if you've already been to at least one of the Nomad cruises or Nomad bases, that's going to help you and me also. So you can become a volunteer. You can also become a speaker, Johannes mentioned. And then if you don't want to become a volunteer and don't want to become a speaker, but you know someone who is a great speaker, or you know about a topic that you would like to hear, then please nominate and please send us these recommendations. You can see the links. You can just go on the link and fill out all of these forms, whatever you would like, and that will help us also with the content planning of the program.
Yeah. And how can I book my ticket? We're going to talk about this now, but before we go just into booking the ticket, we're just going through the questions that you have here. Because some of you already are members and already have the ticket, so we're not going to dive too deep into this now, but we're first going to quickly go into your questions. So weather-wise, about the safari and Cape Town, I mean, you need to bring some warm clothes as well, and you need to bring hot clothes for hot weather. Cape Town in November can be super sunny and beautiful weather, but it can also be still a little bit cold because we're in the beginning of the season. with a safari as well. When you're arriving in Johannesburg, Johannesburg is in a very high elevation, so this could get pretty cold as well. But then for the safari, it's going to get super hot as well. So you need to prepare a little bit for everything, unfortunately. What's the cost of the accommodation in Cape Town and the safari? So the cost for accommodation, you need to just look up on Airbnb how much it costs at the moment, or on other things. Generally, the value for money in Cape Town is very, very good. So you can get beautiful places for very good rates, but they're also selling out. So you need to keep in mind that, for example, for Airbnb, before COVID, there used to be 30% more Airbnb accommodation, and now it's much more limited. So the prices will be higher, especially last minute. Okay. Cost of living. Yeah. So in general, cost of living in Cape Town, the accommodation is the expensive part. And then it really depends how often you go out. In general, eating out, it's not really expensive. You can, but it's not a super cheap place as well. What you need to keep in mind about Cape Town is that there are a lot of amazing restaurants, and whereas in London or other cities, you would pay 4 times more for the same meal. But you can also just go, it's not too much. The value for money in Cape Town is incredible, but it really depends on the type. If you decide to cook for yourself, or if you decide to go out, how much you're going to spend at the end of the day. But well, it wouldn't be more than what you would spend in Mexico, for example.
There were some few questions regarding the safari. Like, first of all, like the Wi-Fi situation, and also a rough pricing about the safari.
Okay. So Wi-Fi during the safari will be complicated. And there we really would recommend that you try to take the time off. There will be some time when you can work. Actually, we have one day that is just completely off, where you can just work if you want. And we respect that. And you also spend quite a lot of time in the trucks driving from one place to the next, but you cannot. If I would have to, I wouldn't really. I would just skip the work part as much as I can. And if you need to do a few hours here or there, you can probably do it, but it's not going to be so much fun to work. And in general, there's Wi-Fi at all the places where we're staying, but keep in mind that things can break. And just prepare a little bit like you would do if you would go on a nomad cruise across the Atlantic, and then you'll be more than fine. And price-wise, so we are starting the early bird tickets for the safari that will cost, including everything, entrance to the national parks, including your accommodation, including all your meals and everything. The price will be below 2,000 euros, but we are not, we haven't decided exactly on the full price yet, as we are still doing like very small, tiny negotiations and what to include and what not. But it's going to be below 2,000 euros, which is an amazing deal. And for those who are staying in real accommodation, they will need to pay a little bit more than that.